Hampden D.A. Anthony Gulluni presented 8 local nonprofits with community support grants totaling $62,000 at the Chicopee Boys and Girls Club. This year's recipients include the Boys and Girls Club of Chicopee, New North Citizens Council, the Pioneer Valley Riverfront Club, Springfield Together Incorporated, the Western Mass Youth Football Flag Football Organization, the Academic Leadership Association of Greater Springfield, Springfield Ballers, and finally Big Brothers Big Sisters of Hampden County.
We give relatively small grants through forfeiture in our court system, which is allowed by state law, that really supports these programs to do particular things like rebuild a basketball court or start a special program or provide food to families in need.
The DA adds that this program is in line with the goal of optimizing public safety.